Hey everybody, Scotty G and Nathan here from ListenUp. Today we're going to give you a tour of our new retro room.
That's right, this is a room dedicated to modern vintage speakers, amplifiers, and even some source components. We've also selected some very cool decor and cabinetry from Tactile that really brings the whole mid-century modern theme together.
Yeah man, it's really cool. Walking through that door is like stepping back in time.
Which is why we've got you here.
Ah.
Scotty, how far back did we go?
I don't know man, it looks like the 60s.
What's that smell?
New ideas.
All right, just to clarify, this room is not a vintage room.
No, not at all. You know, you're not going to find used and old gear from the 60s and 70s. This is modern electronics made from high-end manufacturers with that vintage look. Some of them have that vintage sound, all of it with a modern twist.
It's a marriage kind of between past and present. We have a lot of the same aesthetics, a lot of the same looks, and of course that very warm, emotional sound signature that we get through old vintage equipment, but combined with a lot more modern technology, combining what we've learned in the past couple of decades of audio with that familiar design. So we're getting much better electronics out of these, much better reliability, and much better sonic transparency through an older, more well-known design, if you would say.
Yeah, you gotta love the design. You know, a lot of modern gear is kind of stark and minimalist. This stuff though just oozes design, takes you back in time, lovely look. If you're in the mid-century modern, I think a lot of this retro gear is for you.
Yeah. First thing we're gonna take a look at is our Klipsch Lounge, featuring some very classic looking and very hard to miss Cornwalls.
Yeah, it's tough missing these guys. This speaker was first introduced in 1959 and has made several improvements over the years. The modern Cornwall features a 1-inch horn-loaded titanium dome tweeter, a 4-inch horn-loaded mid-range, the classic 15-inch woofer that Klipsch is famous for, and a modern port design called Tactile. Total classic Klipsch sound, super dynamic, really live. But with detail and a more mellow and easy to listen to mid-range and bass compared to older Cornwalls.
For sources, we actually have a combination of both old and new. We have the Cambridge Audio Alva TT V2 direct drive turntable with a built-in phono stage, perfect for keeping it purely analog. Beneath that, from Cambridge Audio as well, we have the AXN10, which is one of their newest hi-fi streamers. So now we can put digital hi-fi streaming into our very classic retro system. Those are going into, and this is an excellent combination here, the C49 preamp by Macintosh and the MC275. The C49 is going to have 13 different inputs with a digital to analog converter module in there, going into the 275, which is probably one of the most well-known, most iconic amplifiers by Macintosh. This is driving about 75 watts into 2 channels. Beautiful warm tube sound, which is an excellent pairing with something as efficient and as forward into the room as Klipsch.
Yeah, it's a great combination that works really well together.
Yeah.
Our next stop is the JBL L100 Yamaha sound system.
Right, so the L100s, originally made in 1970, a lot of people remember this speaker. It is very, very well remembered. First thing you notice, the grills. Everybody notices the grills. These are available in several finishes, but very classic look to it. But even more so, as soon as we take it off, bam, that is very much the 70s look. We've got a front ported cabineted speaker 12-inch bass driver, 5-inch mid-range, and then a 1-inch dome tweeter. What I love about this is this also has the classic tone controls on there for the high and mid frequencies. Especially if you're trying to tune it into your room, this is a very fun way to play with the speaker and kind of get it zeroed in to how you like it to sound. This is in every bit an excellent rock and roll speaker. I mean, we're talking huge dynamics, great distance between 0 and max. This is the kind of thing that is going to definitely blow your hair back. It did for me. So really great bass response. It's gonna fill the room, but we're also, with those dynamics, getting really excellent detail, especially in the mids and the highs, bringing just a little bit more of the music to your ears and letting you hear those little delicacies in between.
All right, so driving this system, we have the 50th anniversary Rega Planar 3 turntable with the very classic and retro walnut bass. The CD player is the Yamaha CDS 2100. Again, a very vintage looking piece. The amplifier is the Yamaha AS 1200. Right away you notice the VU meters, multiple analog inputs, a phono input to support the turntable, and 90 watts of power to really bring out what the L100s are capable of. Aesthetically, this system really looks great with the L100s. Plenty of power, although if you give the L100s more power, they will certainly reward you. The solid state design of the Yamaha amp, though, really brings out the bass, great detail, and allows these speakers to sound like they should.
The last and final thing we'd like to show you is this system right here. The highly sought after KLH Model 5s paired with the PrimaLuna Evo 400 integrated tube amplifier.
Yeah, the KLH Model 5s are based on their classic 60s design and have really taken the hi-fi world by storm as of late with their acoustic suspension design cabinets. These cabinets have no ports, keeping the bass tight and dynamic, especially at loud volumes. And this design also has rewards towards the mid-range. It's a mid-century modern look, very vintage with a modern sound.
Paired with the Model 5s, we have the PrimaLuna Evo 400 series. This is an all-tube integrated amplifier, all analog inputs, 5 of those to be exact. We do have pre-outs, so if you want to use different amplification or potentially a subwoofer or 2 to the system, it certainly accommodates to that. One of the coolest things about this actually is the ability to switch between triode and ultralinear when it comes to the tubes. You're gonna get 2 just very different sounds. Of course, you have the triode. It's going to be very smooth, very delicate. Just brings out, especially in vocals, I'd say a lot of detail. But then you also have ultralinear, which is going to be much more punchy, a lot more extensions in the lows. And in the highs, I just felt like it was a little bit more enveloping there. But you can just switch between the 2 of them with the click of a button. All in all, excellent tube design, plenty of power, and is going to give you a lot of really good warmth and detail in those speakers. A sound that I think all of us have just really grown to love, but also really gives the speakers all of the energy and audio that they're looking for.
All right, this concludes our tour of the ListenUp Retro Room. If you like that retro style for your home or listening space, or you prefer a warmer, more buttery sound with lots of bass slam, come check us out.
And of course, we're here at our Denver showroom. We're going to be adding retro rooms in some of our other locations as well, if you'd like to pay a visit and listen to some of these speakers and amps for yourself. All of this is also available online at listenup.com. We would really appreciate it if you guys were to subscribe to our channel. Go ahead and click that button for notifications. And once again, thank you for watching.
Thanks, man, Ray.